Good afternoon, Michael and Nadine. How you doing? You well?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm blessed, always, in always. I can never complain. Listen, I'm all the better for talking to you guys because we're here to speak about Legally Blonde. Regents Park Open Air Theatre announced that you guys were amongst the cast. It's exciting times. What was it like when you got the call, when you got the nod, when you knew? What was that information like?
There was lots of noise on my end. I can't to be level. There was a lot of noise. I was really excited. I was really excited. I had an amazing time in the audition process, and so I was hoping for the best. Everyone I met, I connected really well with. So yeah, I was excited.
So I had it on, I don't even know if I should admit this, but I had it on my vision board that I put up. I do it yearly, and I put it up in December last year. So I really wanted this job. I really wanted this job, and I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't get it, I would have been vexed. So, so when I did get that call, I was like screaming. I might have had a few tears. It was very happy for me. I really wanted it, and I'm not like that with all my work, but I really wanted this one. It meant a lot for me. It was a big full circle moment for me. So, very excited.
Michael, just because I don't want anybody to miss out on anything you say in this interview, I don't know if the mic is closer to Nadine, but do speak up, do project, sir. And I know you guys have got no issue doing that. So let's make sure everybody catches everything you're saying. Nadine, carrying on from what you just said, what was it about the production that stood out for you the most? And you say you shouldn't tell anybody that you had it on your vision board. I think you should. I think manifestation is key to share when it comes to fruition. So it completes the cycle, if that makes sense. But what was it about the role that stood out for you, or the production that stood out for you?
It just means a lot to me. I did the show back in 2009 in the original cast in town, and I covered this role when I was in my early 20s. I was the second cover Paulette. So it kind of just felt like a really good full circle moment for me that I wanted to play her a decade and a bit later. And it just meant a lot. It just really had meaning for me.
Michael, you play the love interest Emmett, right? So what was it about the role that appealed to you, and how do you prep for a role like that?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I remember in the audition process, we had a sort of impromptu chemistry read. I was in for a couple songs in a scene, and Courtney was coming in as well, just after me. And I don't know if it was planned or not, but we weren't particularly aware. And after I did my bit, Courtney came in and like, "Oh, do you guys want to just try a scene together?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, let's do it. Yeah, why not? Why not?" I don't know. I'd never met her before. And after the reads, I was like, you know what? If that girl has anything to do with this production, I want to be a part of it.
Jeez, hear that?
No, it was lovely because we just like bounced off each other so well, that. And it was just very like the whole, any redirections. It was very positive around the room. That's a pun. I didn't mean to do that. That's one of the songs in the show. But yeah, so I was very excited to explore being a love interest to Elle. And I was hoping, I didn't know, of course, at the time that maybe Courtney and I would be doing it together. So it was very exciting when that happened. And I mean, prepping for a role, for a love interest, I mean, I think it's one of those things where you want to find like the arc of the relationship. Do you know, and especially in this particular story, it's not love at first sight. It's not something where it's like, oh, get hit by Cupid. You sort of, things happen over time that may be like, grate away at your defenses, like it is in real life. And so I think it's just, for me, mainly is a case of figuring out who this person was before they met Elle and who this person is after they've met Elle and what journey they go on together. So that's definitely a big part, I think, for preparation for Emmett.
Nadine, how does your involvement, in 2009, 11, 10, 11, how does that whet your appetite to up the levels this time around?
It's not so much up in levels, it's me respecting and appreciating that it's just a completely different production. And also, we live in a completely different world now. And me personally as a person, I am obviously a completely different person to the person I was, 10 years ago. Little things like just maturing, I'm a mum now, my views, it's a whole different game. So I think for me, my tactic has been actually just to start again. And it has been difficult because I have got slight memories and there's parts of my body that's like, no, it should be like this. And I'm like, no. It's just new. And we're just, starting from scratch. Our world's different. We've got the issues that are faced are different. We have, a woman of color playing Elle. We're post Panny D.
Pandemonium.
You know what I mean? It's like there are so many things that now make this piece, it just doesn't compare. So the truth of that is, as much as for me it was a nice circle, other than that, the other production does not in any way, there's no comparison for me now. It's a whole new thing with new people, and that's kind of how I'm facing it every day. I am also a complete different person to Jill, who played it in the last cast, and I'm trying to honor that. I'm trying to just bring me to Paulette as opposed to playing the Paulette that I felt I had to pigeonhole into last time, if that makes sense. So
no, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. What's been getting back to normal like for you guys in terms of lockdown being lifted, no more socially distanced rehearsals and performances, and just kind of getting back into the groove of dare I say it, normality?
Yeah, okay, I'll start. It's interesting. I think this industry in general, of course, every industry, but this industry in particular as well, trying to function under those restrictions, even after we were out of a lockdown, just under some kind of social distancing restrictions, it was so difficult. You've got the sort of speaking on what it's like for just audiences and, having to space out in terms of capacity, but then on stage as well, like how do we interact when so much of human behavior is physical connection, and sometimes you can't create that over a certain distance. So it's definitely a positive, and it's a powerful thing to be able to come back and establish those things again, those kind of physical connections between characters. I will say that, to be fair, performing, because I did one show that was socially distanced during just on the edge of at the end of the first lockdown, and what I did find in that space that I'm trying to bring into this space is how we can connect over spaces as well. How we can express that connection when we can't actualize it with a physical touch, and what that means, for your voice, for what energies between people. So, I think there are things, as we all say, there are things to carry and learn from lockdown and bring into this space. But it's definitely great to be able to explore it in its multiple different avenues now.
I think also acknowledging that what is normal now.
Yeah, exactly.
Normal is new for us. We're creating what is normal. Normal now is sanitizing all the time. It is testing personally for yourself. It is always being masked on. Like that for me is normal. Protecting myself and my space so that when I come into a room with my peers, I can give what I need to give and know that I've done everything I can to keep us all as safe as we can be in these times. But also what you said about, I think it was really true about learning from, because I also had to do a show where we tried to stay 2 meters apart, and especially it was a show about love and lovers. So then you're like, how do you express? But then what happens is the electricity of the moments where you can actually just get a step closer, and now being able to take that away from that and put it into what is now a sort of close related loved cast again. I had a moment with Courtney in a room the other day where I held her face in my hand, and I didn't make a thing of it at the time, but as I was doing it, I was like, rah. Do you know what I mean? It was like, yeah, I was like, rah, like I'm holding someone. Do you know what I mean? It was, so I think it's almost, I personally have found a magic again in being able to really immerse myself. And I'm sat here and my knee is fully on Michael because it's like, we have been so starved that I'm constantly like, do you mind? Are you all right? Like, it's nice to be able to, we work in such an industry that is we really, emotions are really important, able to be being able to bring them in as actors, but also just as people. Like, people haven't labeled us as lovies for a reason. Like, we are very, so it was really tough trying to work under those conditions. Yeah, it was. And it's so nice to be smart, but yes, freer.
But it's interesting what you say just about being smart as well, because I think something that's I've seen in this rehearsal room that I've been like, wow, this is a new thing. It's just permissions, because I think we're now aware of the value and the importance of personal space, and that including hygiene, you know, we're always asked, are you comfortable being touched? Are you comfortable with, and you know, we have an intimacy coordinator on this job, which is just like an incredible step forward for the industry in general. But I think it's all of these things, you know, we can't sniff at the effect of lockdown at that as well, because it just starts to respect, you know, people's consent to like their space. And, you know, although, we're all like getting tactile and trying to like, but there's still permission there, which 100%. Is really important.
Because everyone's coming from different backgrounds and ideas of what they went through in lockdown. You have people that, you know, were living with people that needed to be more careful, so just didn't go out at all. So now coming back into a space like this, it can be overwhelming, and it's important that, you know, we do ask. Not everyone is at the same level of how they are. Some people haven't done a job yet. Some people haven't had to immerse themselves into something yet. So we have to be really careful that we're not just trying to treat everyone how we think, you know? But
intimacy, would you say intimacy consultant, right? Is that what you said? Coordinator. Well, thanks for sharing. I didn't know that even existed. So that's an evolution in itself, right?
Yeah, it's you're seeing it happen a lot, and a lot more theatre and a lot more screen things now. You know,
makes sense. Makes sense. Regents Park open air theatre. It's a unique experience from a spectator point of view. What's it like for you guys?
Wow, we're waiting to find out.
Have you done a job here before?
I have never performed on the Regents Park stage before.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't.
Talk about the rehearsal space, but I don't know. I haven't performed on stage yet. I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. I've done a lot of open air theatre, but I haven't worked specifically here. Again, I'm going to add that this was also on my vision board, guys.
Okay. I want to see the vision board because it's expansive. I want to see it.
I was like, what venues have I not been at that I want to be at? Like, honestly, you don't understand. Nadine, I sat there giving it, come to me. But I've done a lot of open air theatre, and I just think it's so. Have you seen an open air show before?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Romeo and Juliet recently.
It's here. It's so magical. I think that moment where the sun starts to go down, and the lights start to come up, and you're like, it's just magic. Like performing by moonlight, it's magic. Like I genuinely adore it. I adore working outside. I think it's beautiful, and I think I'm excited to do it here in the middle of this beautiful setting. And this, like,
I can only imagine. It's like extended set.
Yeah. You haven't got to imagine for too much longer, so that's a good thing. What was working with Lucy Moss like for both of you?
So intelligent.
Yeah.
The way she interrogates the text, and I am someone who like I do my homework, and I'm sat in that room, and she is asking questions or thoughts that I have not even.
Yeah, it's true.
That haven't even.
It's true.
I don't know how her mind works, but I think she's incredible. Yeah. I think she's incredible. And her sort of vision for this piece, she's already seen it from the moment I saw the breakdown of this audition. She has already seen this show in a realm that I think no one would have touched on before. If anyone would claim to say they have, I don't think they were brave enough to do it. I have never seen a breakdown that inclusive in my life. Yeah. I know she looks cute and young, but she's not. And I have never seen a breakdown like that in my life. Yeah. So inclusive, no boundaries. I'm just so excited for her because I think she is just...
Yeah, I mean, I think this is another thing, even experiencing the auditions as well. I just felt so much enthusiasm from the creative team, and that obviously Lucy Moss.
Same.
Because even I've never been in an audition where I actually felt like I was just like creating, bouncing, having fun, like just doing for it. Yeah. And she was just so here for it in that moment, and it translates into the room as well. She does, like you said, like she's got an incredible amount of vision, and she interrogates the text so much. But we come in and we both throw ideas and then find something in the middle, or sometimes you just go with one or the other. But it's just, there's so much detail, and that's really nice because you can never feel like you're doing too much. You can never feel like you're deep in it. I don't know how else to say it, but you don't feel like you're making it too deep. Like she wants to reach, you know, if it means we go line by line, word by word, then we shall.
What does it mean?
Yeah, which is really nice.
What does it mean? And
you feel safe.
Yeah.
Because that's someone that cares about, you know, exactly what you're going up there to try and communicate, which is great.
And, you know, she's of this generation and she's current. And I think she understands the world from the sort of aspects of these characters, and she hasn't been scared to just put it out there. I really respect and rate her, and I'm really enjoying the process with her so far. I really am.
Well, it kicks off in May 2022, Friday the 13th. Unlucky for some, but clearly lucky for you two. And it runs until the 2nd of July. Listen, wishing you all the best, right? All the best of luck. But all the work's done. Just go out there and enjoy yourself now, because this is what you guys do, innit? So step into your realm, deliver, entertain. I'm sure there'll be positive reviews. Is there anything you want to leave the audience with before we part ways?
Just come.
Just come and see.
Just come and see. Like, it'll be amazing.
Yeah, come and see and enjoy and form your opinions, and let's be a part of this.
We need to support theatre again after we've had a rough couple of years, and I think this is it. Just come and support.